1 by plus 24 is still on there.
Oh, whoops. Well, we went live since they're sitting down.
Okay.
I muted us.
All right. Well, good afternoon, evening to those of you who are joining in. We are here for the finals of our Endor Grand Prix. I'm joined today by Robbie Hinton, who's going to be going through the finals and give you another voice to also go through and correct everything that I say wrong. So, Robbie, thanks for joining
That
us.
that's not fair.
It feels fair.
No, not fair at all.
So,
I am not even remotely prepared on the meta or anything. If it's not WAP, I don't know what it is. So
well, we will be seeing the matchup of Yoda communing versus a Jabba Palace slip sliding away deck that Hayes has played. It looks to be roughly the same list he played at Worlds
yeah.
and won Worlds with. Wirfs is playing Yoda communing, and as the higher seeded player, he got to choose which side. So um, we know that Wirfs played a very close game with Sam Tashima in the first round of the top 8, and then came back from being 12 down to hunt down with CCT against Y4O to beat Anthony Howard Batmouse. So before we get into the finals, we want to say congratulations to all of our top 8 competitors. We've seen some really good games of Star Wars today, and now we get to see Chris Wirfs battle into this dark side deck that could be interesting. So Robbie, my first question. As Wirfs, he got to pick the sides and went light side first. He's playing CCT as the second deck. You like that as an option?
Yeah, I think CCT gives him more options to understand how to play around. He's got some retrieval in there, and he's more reactive to his opponent. He can also be a little bit more aggressive with the deck. Um, and I think this is probably going to be, I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on Hayes's draws a little bit. Like if Hayes can get his space, like and get a hand foothold somewhere in there. Um, did see Worse had squadron assignments, I believe, is one of his starting effects. So
Yeah, he has Walkling Squadron assignments, and I think Jedi Business is his third starting effect. So look at Hayes. He brought some goldfish snack crackers to the active judge. He's not incentivizing. It's all fine. I think is worth it's smart to go with light side first because everything you pointed out, but the deck he's running into in the next matchup is going to be Obi communing, which as a CCT player, that's a rough matchup to run into. But I think it makes sense. He'll know the diff that he's battling and go from there. I don't know the build of Yoda commuting if he's doing, R2 and Red 5, or I've seen a few that are playing like Mirax and a few more ships. So that'll be kind of interesting to see as well. So
yeah, I would assume with the squadron assignments, he's got some sort of matching ship pairs, whether it's
mhm.
we assume it's going to be R2 and Luke somewhere in there. Um, whether it'll be Mirex or Dash or um something else is another thing. Yeah, another is what we'll have to find out, I guess. So
Mhm.
um, I he could even run the Falcon rather than Hanju and the Falcon combo. Yeah, so he's got options up in space by starting squadron assignments.
Yeah.
And it's actually Saitor, it's not actually Jedi business.
Oh, it is Side Tour. So we may see some variety. And this could be a version that maybe is playing Old Man Luke and some different ships. It'll be interesting to see because I don't think this deck has been on stream yet with Wirfs. He may have had it on yesterday and I didn't get to see it, but
Well, and he was he's Seattle, so he's kind of, I would assume, teaming up with JC and Harpster and those guys, and JC was running, I believe, a Yoda Muning yesterday on, and we saw it on stream. He had I believe Dash and Mirax and all sorts of fun shenanigans.
It's almost like Watch Your Step and Yoda like got together. And
Yeah,
Wirfs is normally a Watch Your Step player, so this doesn't feel like too much of a departure for him to play, those ships, those characters, and then oh wait, he gets to play like really a really cool Jedi. For Hayes, the plan is going to be, do what you normally do, get out your locations as fast as possible. Rely on Stunning Leader and a few other cards to kind of use as your evasion. And the boys are having a good time. We can see some laughter and camaraderie, and which is the best part of this with the community. We're all here to see some really high level Star Wars cards, but it's the community and the people that keep us coming back. So looks like both our competitors are having fun, ready to go. We're cutting the decks and about to begin. So I don't want to call predictions. I think we're going to see some highly competitive Star Wars cards, and I wish my best to both the competitors. So let's see how this goes.
yeah.
That
It'll
was a
be.
pretty
I think
good
it'll be an
PSA.
interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting matchup by
Yeah.
far. So
Um, because both of them have been playing a lot of Star Wars cards. There's it's only 4:30 out there on the West Coast, so there's still going to be plenty of time for more board games, and we know Ryan Saracen's there, so
and
guarantee that the game room won't close until 6 a.m. tomorrow.
we're all getting older, so Worst puts on his glasses first thing.
That's
That's his
smart. So,
first action of the game for Worst was to put on his glasses. So
which is smart. I
yeah,
saw Unita in there. I didn't see much of the rest of his opening hand, but it looks like he's going to go pull.
don't do that again and
Don't do that
grab
again.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah, to stop Hayes from pulling any other effects.
Yep. So first action of the game is to get Rendali for Hayes, and Wirfs flashes all wings.
So we'll see which ship he's gonna look for. I would assume it's probably Luke, but it could be the Falcon.
Mhm. It is the Falcon. So definitely more of a departure from what we've seen, new allies or the deck I've played quite a bit, which is relying on Hanshi the Falcon and R205. So I imagine the variety will be good. It's going to give him more ships to cover the locations, but Hayes is going to put out two systems. I imagine this deck will probably put out at least one with Camino. That seems to be the norm. So Hayes pulls double back from hand.
Yep.
Gonna go get Forlom, I assume.
Yeah, Hayes will have options to go to in space to kind of run and hide. So I wonder if Worst will kind of play it slow with the Falcon somewhere and then kind of try to jump on Boba Fett later, or
Mhm.
if he's gonna kind of just go to space first. I would imagine if you can knock Hayes out of space, it increases, your win percentage.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if this game is gonna have any starship weapons from Wirfs,
Yeah.
if he's gonna be, so Rendali is gonna hit the table. I imagine we're gonna go see the audience
Now,
chamber
yep.
along
And
with
now Hoda, if it's there,
Nalhutta,
there it
along with the
is.
cantina. Yeah, we're gonna see the AC come out. And there's no Hutta, no cantina yet.
I didn't see it in there. I saw the dungeon. I didn't see Cantina
Yeah.
in the reserve. He might have activated it,
Hmm.
or he has it in his hand. And it looks like Worfs has only the Falcon as his ship right now in his hand.
Has a Jedi. We can't tell which one. And a lot of red.
Yeah. He had, I think, 2 or 3 characters, one of which being a Jedi, and then the rest were red.
Hmm. So Hayes is already playing Jedi Mind Tricks, sleeving up his dark side deck in blue sleeves, so this will be interesting.
Wonder if the other red card is relatively unprotected in Wirfs' hand. Like his hand doesn't seem super amazing.
It really doesn't. Relative unprotected, great, Thrawn and TTO tech, and it's a 7. Everyone loves it. So
Right. Actually, it may
uh,
not have been. It's hard to
I
see.
know there's an Unita. That's the
There's
one
two
card.
Jedi in his hand.
Yep, I can see by the icons, and I think one of them's Serene. The one closest to his left, that might be Kit Fisto.
Yeah. And I assume Hayes is going to drop Forlom. There it
Yep.
is.
So one change I've noticed is that they no longer played the droid dungeon as the place to play Forlom. It looks like that was a cut for the lower passage because
Yeah.
that wasn't in their worlds deck. So
Probably just another battleground site in case you need it against like Y4 or something.
and Hayes, I think when he Forlomed, I think it was a P59 that came off the top. So Wirfs activates and Hayes
Communes. And it was looked
Forloms.
like it was a ship.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go pull a location. All right, I saw one system, but I don't think I saw the Camino Twix, so unless that was it there. I mean, they're both gonna be activating pretty much whatever they want the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and this has kind of been a theme is that, the mid game happens turn 2 anymore. I
Right.
remember it at Worlds, and we see the 3-2, the power generator core come down from Wirfs. I played a game against Charlie Arlinson, and I had saved a couple the turn before. I think I activated 18, and I had 30 cards in my force pile on turn 4. It was kind of
Yeah, I mean,
gross.
Hayes is gonna be activating 14, 13 next turn. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13.
13.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Wirfs is not going to be far behind him. He's going to activate 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
yeah,
So
he's still a little bit behind.
yeah. Yeah, I imagine with this hand, you're going to see Wirfs draw a couple. I don't think you were the first one to play. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a ship. Saw a Hujix combo.
He
He
did play
flashed a
a
call.
yeah, I think it was Hear Me Baby to play a
Yep.
shield. Yeah, Wirfs is
He'll
just
get that in a second. Yep.
yeah.
There's aim high, which Wirfs would probably anticipate first strike hitting the table at some point.
Yeah, and I mean it also helps depending on which Luke he's playing for Mara or not Mara, Erica. Yeah,
Yep.
Erica can retrieve. So there's the Cantina. So he did activate it last turn.
Yep.
And I don't see the lower passages this turn. So he might have activated that.
Yep.
And it looks like his ship is in there too.
So we're up to 38 viewers here tuning in for the stream this evening. And imagine we'll pick up a few more as the game goes on and we see some more competitors in the background. I know the constellation match was happening, and eventually the room will turn to non-Star Wars card games. So we see Hondo come down to the audience chamber, which will pull Boba Fett and
Yep.
Slave One to Rendili.
Of course, Wirfs knows which side of the cantina is his. He's only been playing it for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm. I know I talked to Wirfs after his OCS top 16 match. He was excited about this weekend. And to see him be on kind of a hot streak right now as someone, he was the first player picked in the OCS draft, and he was able to come out with a win. Hayes, now that he controls a system, he pitches You Cannot Hide Forever to get something special. Question from Joker King: thoughts on going to dark side, going to space? You have Jabba's Haven, you can be a bit aggressive. Plus, I imagine Hayes doesn't make this play unless he has a barrier in his hand.
Yeah, I was gonna
Or
say
Robbie,
Hayes has
go
got
ahead.
to have a barrier in his hand. I mean, it seems highly aggressive to do that with the risk that you know Chris could drop a couple ships. He is playing squadron assignments. He just drew a big hand. He's activating. What did we say? 10? 1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
He
3, 4,
saved
5,
two.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
What's
12.
12 now because the cantina?
Wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
It's
11, 12.
13. Walkling.
Yoda, Waffling.
Yeah, it should be 13 or 14. It's 14. Yeah, with commuting too.
Oh,
So,
I kept forgetting to his hut. Yep, 14.
oh yeah, his HUD is way, way off to the
Yeah,
side.
I was counting it way too often. And nice tech or just placement of putting Yoda, not putting it under commuting, but putting it underneath the site.
Yeah, it kind of
Um,
also, uh, it kind of reminds him to activate the one from the community, like
yeah,
commuting that way potentially.
yeah. And so, yeah, so Wirfs will have 16 force. And Kessling points out that Wirfs is running Old Man Luke or The Last Jedi. So I've seen a build of this that, I tinkered around with myself because AOBS is a thing, and you have to make a decision on this deck. Where do you want your advantage with Luke? Do you want him in space or do you want him on the ground? And as Joker King points out, the space is less scary because now you're looking at the Falcon, Outrider, and Pulsar Skate are probably the ships, and maybe Wedge, maybe, but that's still a trade-off. So
Right. I mean, it is definitely less scary with one less, no, he's not running R2, so one less target for the X-Wing cannons and things like that too.
um, we didn't mention it, but I just want to point out that Hayes did drop Maul with Saber to the 2-0 for 2 force, and then spent 1 to move him over to the Cantina. So
Yeah, and Hayes saved 3, so
yeah.
I would assume there's a barrier somewhere. Um, you know, there might even be 2 barriers, and he might be kind of expecting Worse to grab the first one, just to give himself that extra bit of protection, or even draw their fire. I don't know if Worse is running that or not, but Hayes left himself ways to not lose the game this turn.
Yeah.
So
So Hayes,
we'll see what Worse is trying to find. I assume he's going for Yoda to find a system or something, and mainly just trying to check which weapons or pilots or ships or whatever are in his deck that he could go grab.
I mean, if you were going to go after Maul, now would be the time because Phantom Menace isn't on the table. His defense value 6. You could probably clear him. Just the
Yeah,
question is, which of the Jedi in his hand can he use to go do that? And does he have a matching stick?
right.
So we
Well,
see
and
there.
there's Mirix,
So we know Luke Saber's in there, daughter.
Outrider, Dash,
Yeah, yeah.
Pulsar Skate. There was one other. It looked like it was another ship. But I couldn't tell what it was.
The only two I saw was Outrider and Pulsar Skate. So I assume Hayes will probably grab do or do not after he saw the sense on a verify.
Yeah, and I think if Hayes knew that Wirfs was playing Old Man Luke, or then that it makes more sense to drop Fett into space because you don't have to worry about a ton of beatdown potential right off the
Ye-
bat.
Yeah, and I also think that it basically tells you there will
Is
not
that
be starship weapons.
it? Almost looked like it was Wedge and Ship in there too. Is either Wedge or maybe Corrin? It's a shiny ship. That's all I could see. So with worse shuffling it, it's almost like he didn't find what he wanted in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Old Man Luke goes there.
Yeah.
And that's also smart by Hayes to drop Maul too if he knows that he's running Old Man Luke, because hey, look, he can't attack with Luke into Maul.
Right.
Um, so
And I mean,
Hayes had a really good first turn with aggression, knowing what his opponent was on.
yeah, and I mean Hayes is already satisfying resistance, so he'll be able to pull that to, keep that as a drain of 2. And old man Luke, like that's your big advantage. If he's at the 3-2, I think you're
Yeah,
fine with that.
yeah, I think Hayes is fine with that. He can take that drain of 2 for a while and just go elsewhere if he needs to, or if War starts to try to be aggressive elsewhere, Hayes can attack into that Luke.
Yeah, because I mean, Wirfs is facing
Oh,
5 points of no,
there's the Outrider
yeah. And we
pulling
know Dash
Dash.
is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but Fett can't be reduced. So yeah,
I think they're going to Nalhada. Yeah.
yeah, looks like it.
Which I mean, if you're Hayes, that's the best case scenario. I'm paying for free and I'm going to be out draining you.
Yeah, I mean Hayes is up, and Worst doesn't have resistance yet, so he's behind right now, and he's dedicated more cards than Hayes has, or same amount of cards as Hayes has to the table,
Mm-hmm.
at least as far as characters and ships.
Yeah. And so by playing Old Man Luke, you reduce the retrieval potential because you're not playing Space Luke.
Right.
So you get the once per game retrieval from Yoda and then Walkling, but that's really only those are your really only options to kind of trade some of this off. And Arica becomes, less useful, but I'm sure she's going to hold down a site eventually. And Hayes is okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Hayes is happy with where this game has started.
Mhm. All right, we made it up to 46 in the chat. So in between the next turn, we have some prizes that we're going to be giving away here tonight. And I have a couple trivia questions throughout the chat that I'm going to be putting in. I reserve the right that maybe Scomp cheated me out, but I'm putting the question in the chat. So
Hayes activated 15 and he had 3 saves, so he's got 18 force to work with this turn too. I mean, he could do some damage here because he still has a pretty good grip. Wirfs loses the other Naboo location. Run Luke run, which is probably pretty smart since Luke is stuck on Naboo. And I kind of wonder if maybe Luke should have gone to, Jabba's palace then with the Run Luke run being available. You could, utilize that some more. But loses an all wings. Still got 2 more to lose. Sense and Jin. Jin might have been useful.
Yeah, Jin would have been very useful. So, all right, so the question I posed in the chat, how many different Jedi can Yoda community play? And we're gonna say each persona only counts as one.
Yeah, that's true. He does have Unitada in hand, so it's not terrible to pull in to lose her there and pull her into hand. So lower passages come out. Hayes needs to flip that. Lower passages.
We see it
Shizor
is joining Maul at the cantina. You see the jury juice looking at 2 cards and putting one, taking one into hand, and then shuffling the reserve deck.
But I have no idea the answer to this trivia question. So I'm
I
kind of
had it at a number
counting.
1 less than what I see there so far, but Def Jones, if you can name the 7, I'll check and see because I had a different number, but I may have missed one. So Hayes pays for Shizor. And that's what it was for Zuckus and Miss Hunter to go join Boba Fett, which if you're worse, that's like trying to attack into both of them is going to be very difficult. And Maul moves back to the 2-0. And
Well,
I imagine
if Wirfs is running wedge and ship, it's not going to be that bad to attack into. But he does not have the hand to attack into that right now.
so Joker King, the 6 that you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I wasn't counting Master Yoda because he is technically communing, but those were the 6 I had. And then Def Jones, Anakin, I believe, is a Jedi Knight. That's the one I was that I was going back and forth on.
He's a Jedi Council member, Jedi Knight, not a Jedi Master.
Yeah, so the
and
restrictions
a Sith Lord.
And so many other things. So
Right.
Jeremy wrote 6 in the chat, and then Joker King actually lists them. So 6 is the number I had. So I will figure out the options, but I say, Jeremy, you win the Genpei pack, which I'm sure you love.
I mean, he can just program himself to have those, right?
Possibly. Maybe I'll talk with Jane App to see if we can get you something else. But Joker King, those were the 6 that I had. So
all right. So Wirfs activated what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 again? No, 15 this time. Okay, so he is gonna go attack.
So was it Solo that went down on the Falcon?
Yep. And Hayes did have the barrier, which we kind of expected. And there's Ray, which is what I was expecting him to have if he's going to do that. So now he can use Pile Search for another ship.
Barrier went to both ship and solo, right? I imagine when you play it both at the same time, I imagine the smart play is to barrier the ship. But if you're trying to battle into the Zuckuss and Forlom, unless you have 7 ability, it's not going to matter. So there's no way that Wirfs is battling here.
No, he's not battling.
No. I pulled the bottom card with Ray. I don't think it was anything that helps him.
Restraining Bolt.
Yep.
That'll make things a little bit more difficult for Hayes. But I mean, Hayes has already got such a decent lead, and there's the Unita, and Wirfs is actually going to deploy it on a site.
Imagine probably the audience chamber. Yep. Get Jin.
Get Jin.
Jin will go to the cantina.
And now Wirfs isn't looking too bad, but I would
No, I mean,
suspect Hayes has got an answer for Jin.
right. I mean, we
Although
know,
he moved the lightsaber.
well, we know from the last game he's playing Comm scan.
Yes.
So the question is, can he find it? He's going to be activating so many.
Yeah.
And if he has to, he can force push for it.
He's activating 17,
That's a lot.
and he's got 3 saved.
Mhm.
So Wirfs plays Sand, which is
Mhm.
standard.
Stacks Hera and quite a mercenary. So
He will have Ellis protection later if he needs it.
mhm.
And they fix the lower passages. I think Shocking Revelation is just such a low destiny that I don't think I would, unless I didn't have
It's a
anything
Destiny
else.
5.
Is it? Oh, okay. I was
I
thinking.
just looked it up because Joker King is always good about bringing up cards. I have no idea what they do. If opponent is about to scan. Oh, he must be talking about the combo Grimtosh. Yeah.
Oh, I see. No, he's using it as a Destiny 5 to make him lose 4 force when they peek at your hand from Jin.
Yeah. So we see Comm scan come down and Jin goes lost. And he peels Anakin and a Baragwin to one of the drains.
He uses the once per game retrieval with Yoda to get Anakin or Bear going back.
And Qui-Gon's lightsaber. Which, if you wanted to go battle into one of those characters, not a card you wanted to lose.
Yeah, and once he gets a Bear going, it won't be as bad because he can use it to help shut down Hayes' damage somewhat. There's the Joss.
He's got a restraining bolt of his own, Phantom Menaces. His destinies are pretty good. So, I mean, if you're Hayes, do you battle into that Falcon? I think you're better off to just run. and stay alive in space and make
Yeah,
him chase you.
he I mean, he could try to battle into it, and he
It's
can
just not
always
worth it.
he could always Java Haven back what he lost, but I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, with 2 destinies though, there's a chance he clears both ships, and then you're really far behind. I'd rather
Right.
run away, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what he's gonna do.
I would agree. And I think Wirfs is just trying to set him up in a way that he can
Mhm.
take him out in space, and that's where he's gonna win the game. If he can make Hayes all of a sudden have to pay 3 to drain for 1 at a bunch of locations, it makes his deck not as good.
Yeah. So Hayes, once he shuffles up from playing Dosh from the site, I know Phantom Menace was one of the cards he had a choice of, and I didn't get to see the other one, and I'm not sure which one he put into play or took into his hand, but I imagine you just move Maul to the Jabba's palace, move the 2 ships over, eat your drains of 2 and 1, and say, may the force be with you. I'm not sure that there's much else I would see Hayes doing this turn.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is Worst didn't grab Comm Scan, he didn't grab Barrier, so I'm curious what he's saving his grabber for. Ellis maybe.
uh
I mean, I probably would have grabbed the Barrier.
I would have grabbed CommScan.
If you're gonna plan on the Jin game
Oh,
plan, yeah.
so a little aggressive, and I wasn't seeing this aura coming down in front of Luke. The destinies are really good because we saw at least 2 7s and a 6 in there. I think you kind of just leave her. I agree
Yeah,
with Joker.
there's no first strike or anything to take advantage of.
Yeah. And if
So
Luke,
he is
yeah.
battling.
And if Luke hits her, she just goes used.
Yeah. And there's the blaster deflection, and Hayes is gonna grab it on something special.
Yeah. So it doesn't pay.
Or there's no try. Okay. Allegations grabbed it.
Yeah.
So he'll
To make
swing
him pay for it.
back,
Mm-hmm.
hit, she goes used. I think
Okay.
I would have just waited and not battled. And then, hey, look, I don't have to take a drain of 2. And
Yeah.
yeah, the ships run.
I mean, it's one of those things, and the line that I hear all the time is force them to have the card. If he doesn't have the blaster deflection and you hit Luke off that site, where else could you deploy him? He's effectively lower passage is the only place he could go. So,
Right.
um, so
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have anything else, I guess, to do that turn either.
and I mean, sometimes
So
we've done stupid lines just because we were bored.
no, I don't think it was a stupid line. Like, I think it's what you were saying. Make him
Yeah,
have the blaster
yeah.
deflection, and if he
I'm mad
does,
at.
fine.
I
You're
would
not
never.
losing. You're
Go
not
ahead.
losing to damage or anything from overflow. If he swings and hits you, you just go used, and then okay. And if he doesn't have the
I
blaster deflection, then you're pretty far ahead.
I would never accuse Hayes of making a stupid line. He's played more games of Star Wars cards than.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Hayes has made some
Yeah,
stupid lines.
yeah,
Even recently has probably made some stupid lines. We all do. It happens.
it does. Wirfs is activating, and we're gonna see a drain of Hayes is gonna lose 3. He's saved 4. He's got a monster hand. And yeah, Joker King points out that Jury Juice may be his way to get Aura back next time because he knows exactly where it is. So to activate down to it.
Right.
If he has another alien to play, which Haruka could be in his hands. Because Honda's already on table. I'm trying to think. If Dr. E.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Woo Her, but I know that was in his worlds list, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would assume he's got a woo her somewhere, whether it's I mean, he would have to have it in his hand. Downloading it would shuffle the Erico or the Orsing away.
Yeah.
So
So
can't see anything that Hayes just lost.
loses a Maul Strikes, a barrier, and I can tell you one of the cards was a Maul Strikes. And then I think a barrier. And that might have been a Phantom Menace.
That does
Yep,
look like a Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like it's the original one.
Yep.
And anytime Hayes' hand gets across the glare, I can see it a little bit better.
Yeah. That's why I try to catch it exactly when he peels it, because like there's a split second, like you can actually see what the card is.
Just have Hayes stick his hand over there every now and then. We'll see what it is.
Just have Hayes stand up and have an eclipse on the table, which for those of you who are tuning in, we hope that you can make it out to another major or to one of the bigger events. We know we have Ohio Mega Worlds, as Kendall Holman is calling it, next weekend. We know that there is Dagobah Regionals the following weekend down in Atlanta. I think those are some of the big ones. We have the remainder of the OCS playoffs. We have the Jawa Brawl coming up. Some more information will be coming out on that, as long as the Outrider Cup. More information will be put together, and we will finalize the teams, which, if you're unfamiliar, the Outrider Cup is a event that pits the best in America against the best in Europe to go head to head in competition to see who can come out with the winner. And last time it was played, I know Team Europe was able to take the W, and I know that there are a couple people who are excited to see this come back. I know Mike Kessling told me that one of his goals this year was to make the Outrider Cup, and he was very happy that he was able to do so. So I'm very curious to see how that competition will play out. Wirfs is coming down with Qui-Gon Serene in front of Maul at the Jabba's Palace site.
Yeah.
With his
With
saber on the top of oh, go ahead, Robbie.
I was just gonna say, with no Phantom Menace on the table, Maul's not immune, so it would be a straight trade if he wanted to.
Yeah. And with the Qui-Gon saber at the top card of the lost pile, there's no opportunity for a swing. So we know from the verification last time, Hayes' destinies were pretty good. So I imagine he'd probably hit Qui-Gon. And if you get +2, you're probably taking out Maul. Or no, he has no immunity right now.
He
Never
has
mind.
no immunity, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, if you battle, you're clearing Maul.
Mm-hmm.
And Hayes did lose a 7 off the top, so that's one of those high destiny gone.
Yeah.
But Wirfs had Clash Baragwin in a All Wings report in Dark Ladder Spin in his, so his destiny isn't the best. Yeah, there is potential if he battles, that Hayes could draw big into Qui-Gon and cause a little bit of overflow. So
Because the destiny be +1 for Maul,
here comes Mace,
which we know his saber is not in the deck, but
Yeah.
maybe he has it in hand.
He's waiting to see about a barrier. And Hayes does have a get combo in his hand, so he's not 100, shaking in his platform shoes over there that make him so tall.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's tall.
Yeah, here comes a barrier, maybe? Gamesmanship barrier?
Fake the barrier?
Yeah.
Do I
Fake the
have it?
barrier? Yeah. Make him think you have it?
Nah. Who would do such a thing? No, I imagine Hayes's play here is he has a
Oh,
second
he's gonna
Endor.
Maul Strikes. That's pretty good.
Oh,
He's gonna
nice.
duel.
And he knows his destinies are really good.
Well, yeah.
6
To 7.
and 6. 5, 3, gone.
Yeah, that was a good ball strikes.
Yep.
So now we know what's on top of worst decks. It's the Bergwin.
Which is a 2?
Ooh,
I'm
2 or
looking it up.
3. 3.
3. Which, obviously would kill Hondo, but I would imagine.
Yeah, he's just gonna stunning leader.
Yep. There it is.
And he's gonna move the ship over. Yep.
Mhm.
Swap them to at least.
Get a drain in.
Well, it leaves the threat of another attack against Hayes if he moves back over.
Mm-hmm. James points out in the chat that dueling is such feast or famine. It's feast if you know your destinies and if you knew what they were. So
Yeah, and Hayes
yeah.
is now stacking his deck with 2 6s, ready to come
Mm-hmm.
up this turn if he wants them. So
Yeah.
those could come in quite handy in space if he wants to battle there.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure why Hayes is looking.
Wirfs probably use don't do that again to just shuffle his deck to get the
Oh,
bear
that
going
makes
off top.
sense. Yeah. I pulled it earlier, so that makes sense. Joker King asked, does Hayes run CAD? I haven't seen Cad Bane. In the last game that I streamed, that wasn't an alien that I saw, and I don't think it was in his worlds list. So
Hayes is debating whether to leave an extra destiny above those 2 6s, it looks like.
he saved 3. We are going to see drains of 2, 2, so 4.
So the damage is kind of equaled up, but I mean Hayes still has so much. I mean he's got less cards devoted on the table right now, better options for board control.
Yeah, and I
You know,
mean,
he's still got a decent hand size of probably looks like 10 to 12 cards.
mhm. And he knows his destiny is sick. That
What
without
ship is
running
that?
Jedi Biz. All right, so that
That's
was.
Wedge.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a shiny Wedge, it looks like.
Okay.
And he just placed Walkling out of play to retrieve Wedge because he has to hit Wedge for
Yeah.
To battle into that ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how
It's
he's gonna.
wedge and ship the combo, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, because he lost
He
Pulsar
lost
Skate.
Pulsar
Your
Escape.
Black Sun Fleet hits the table, and the line I was gonna say is that by starting Sight War over Jedi Biz, he's gonna crack. Well, it actually wouldn't matter in this match. I was thinking of Batmouse's deck, but he knows that he has the sticks. He's gonna crack Mace's immunity here, and
Yeah.
we see Ponda come down,
Yeah, he's getting some good power there. Vader.
which. Yep.
So he's power 15 right now. 16.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what Honda is.
Honda's a 3, I believe.
No, he's actually a 4. So 16. So 16 to 6 in a Destiny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's the
So
6, and
Mace will go. And some. I think you'll have to lose Mace in a few cards.
yeah, because Mace will
It's
cover.
22 to 10.
Yeah.
So Mason 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
And
rough.
yeah, and Worcester a 4, so that's going to be Hondo.
At least he had the Hoochicks.
Uh-huh. He's got to lose something.
Yeah, Hayes does have to lose something. And he should have lost first before Worst did.
This is a gentleman's sport. It's
Yeah, but knowing knowing that Wirfs is forfeiting and Hujix thing gives Hayes extra information. So
yeah.
like he should have been the one to forfeit first just to not
Yeah.
have that extra information. It's not probably huge since he's already up pretty much in this game, but it is something to maintain on. And with Wirfs knowing where that wedge is, and the wedge is at the last or the second to last card in his deck now, he's gonna have to. I guess he can activate to it and leave one destiny left, but then he's not really attacking. He needed to get another destiny below those so he would have, the draw and the attrition draw.
Mm-hmm. So Joker King asks, with Black Sun Fleet now in play, how do you adjust your strategy in space if you're Wirfs?
I mean, I think he's playing the way you do. Like you don't leave one system unattended, and then he can't move over and get a free drain out of it. So,
and for those of you that don't know, is that any of your alien ships that have an alien pilot character aboard is immune to attrition less than 4. Not really relevant here. At any site related to a system you occupy, your Black Sun agents are also information brokers. Again, not really that relevant. You may not retrieve force for initiating battle during your control phase. Move one of your starships. You make a regular move. That's really the key thing. And if you do leave the Outrider alone, it is probably going to be in trouble, especially if you move Zuckuss over. So
yeah, I mean, he has to move Zuckuss, but then he's power 6 to your, what is it? What is dash 6?
0.
Yeah, dash would be 6. So, I mean, you would tie and then, yeah, dash would go.
Right, but
So,
that's the trade-off.
yeah, he has to. Wonder if Wirfs realized that Wedge was
I
one
think
more.
that was I think the look on his head kind of he put his hands up and yeah, I
Because I
think
think it should be Wedge on top and then the one that he paid to retrieve with.
yep.
And it doesn't look like he has Wedge in hand, so he took the Jedi
No,
Lev.
he got the Jedi Lev. So which he's playing now to go get Jin.
Oh,
I'm guessing.
Anakin's not terrible.
No, it's Anakin.
Yeah, I mean he has to have the 6 with to take advantage of it against Dash.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's got 6s tracked. He just, whether they're tracked on worst turn or his turn is a different story.
Yeah. Anakin going aboard the Outrider as a pilot.
Well, he's just got a barrier, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And now he grabs it. He should have grabbed that ages ago.
Yeah.
He's had like the first few turns he had 4 saved. I think that was a pretty big mistake because Hayes has barriered 3 times this game now. So at least one of those was a redrawn barrier more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I do wonder if he maybe lost track of where that wedge and ship was. At least knows it's a 5 with the wedge and ship. I always hate shuffling 2 cards. It always looks like, well, do I know which one is where?
I always make the other person say 1 or 2, and that's the card that goes on the bottom.
Yeah, at least give them the option to switch it up so you don't
Mm-hmm.
100% know. Well, he just
And
drew
then they
another
can cut.
location.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a pretty big win for Hayes here.
Yeah. And given the next matchup is CCT versus Obi communing,
Yeah, I mean,
I
Hayes
think,
just has a stack of force.
yeah. And he activated everything
He saved one.
except one. Well, no, he activated it. He just
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it back.
He put it back. I swear, somebody playing inserts against Hayes would throw him off if he had to name how much force he was going to activate instead of doing the activation dance.
I've never played against inserts, and I'm very happy to say that.
Yeah. I think the only one I've really played against is frozen assets, which doesn't really count as an insert, even though it does get inserted into your force pile or on
Yeah,
top of your
so
force pile.
two.
Yeah,
So
so
we're
I
gonna
mean,
see drains of 6 this turn.
yeah, that's tough. It just looks like Wirfs has so few cards left in his reserve right now.
A lot of them are in his hand. He's got 12 cards in his hand. One of them's Qui-Gon.
Yeah, he's
Yep,
got the bear going, which I think at this point is way too
just
late.
pitch it. All wings combo.
Yeah, like Wirfs has just had a hard time finding the right cards. Like he needed one of
Mhm.
the other ships, he needed that Baragwin earlier, and finding them now is just a little bit too late for the game plan he needs to run with to get there.
Joker King talking about someone tried to play him game of inserts and didn't know
Yeah,
how their
you
cards
can't
worked, which
well you can't play the insert that you also use as your starting effect. Because it's already in
Odin
play.
from hand, along with the old man
There
Luke
goes
from hand.
Wedge. Yeah.
And here's the wedge and the all wings. So
Yep.
Wirfs' life force. He's got one left in force, and then I think he's got like 8 left.
Yeah, it can't be too much. And the really bad thing with this Outriders, it's only going to reduce Zuck because he only has like a power of 4 anyway. So he's
Mm-hmm.
not even getting the full value out of the Outrider reduction. Um,
Solo's game text has not been used yet.
1, 2,
Joker
3,
King.
4,
So
5, 6. He has like 10 or 11
yeah.
and one
So
in force.
obviously he could spin, but the maneuver on the outrider is not going to be enough to really cap it. But he'll be able to spin through, his own stand, so he'll have that. But
Well, but Anakin adds one.
so that makes it
I don't know if Dash adds
4.
anything. Yeah, I think it just makes it 4.
Yeah. Well, no, it'd make it 5 if because the outrider's maneuver is 4. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
get 10.
Oh,
That
no.
would
Anakin adds 2.
that makes it a 6. So
Yeah, that's not terrible. He could spin,
no.
that's it. He could pull up, you know, a card and yeah, so Hayes is dropping forfeit up there because he knows if he loses space,
I think
it's
that
going to slow him
is
down, but I still think he wins
to
this game.
I think that's Sidious that went down because I see an icon and that'd be the only one that would make or
Well,
Emperor.
Palpatine. Yeah.
Yeah. Vader and Maul swap.
For whatever reason. All right, how do we ban somebody from chat?
I'm not sure which persona I got correct, but
You said Sidious.
uh,
He knows that triggers me, so.
Robbie, I've never known you to have triggers.
Yeah.
Texas won yesterday. You're fine.
Yeah. Ask Joker King what I said about that, or even on stream yesterday when I was talking to Garrett. All right, so looks like Drain just his Wirfs is just doing his 3 damage, and
Yeah.
I mean he's
I
doing
mean, if you,
something at least, but he's so far behind right now.
yeah, and I mean, Hayes drew up. He's got 14 cards in his hand. I hate
Yeah,
playing defeatist here, but at this point, do you battle into that ship? Do you just, I don't think
yeah.
you draw up, but
No, but he's gotta. I mean, he's gotta battle into that ship. I think.
mhm. Robbie needs a BB-8 deck box.
Yes, Robbie does need a BB-8 deck box.
Is there a story behind this?
It's somewhat orangey, like the University of
Oh,
Texas is
Texas.
orange.
That makes sense. I took uh the card that triggers you and Boba Fett as my 2 from the donation program, which if you're tuned in and you're a first time streamer, there will be information about the 2024 donation program coming out soon. I highly recommend that you do this because this broadcast, the major events, the prizes, the amazing prize support that we've been able to do, it's all driven by donations that come to the PC through the donations program. So stay tuned on opportunities for that. We're talking about deck
Ooh.
boxes. That was a way to do that. So Padme has come down to join Anakin, and
Yeah, but
this
I think he only left one destiny. If he had, if he left 2,
two, that'd be interesting because that could,
clear out all of that.
yeah, yeah. Joker King spin's gonna be one destiny, but then
But oh, I guess he's only drawing one destiny anyway. Anakin and Dash aren't adding anything, so
well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's it. So
I still think he should have taken a card off of Sand though.
yeah, just to have another card to pitch. I mean, you're not going to battle.
Yeah, I mean it's mainly just the force. Yeah, not terrible. So 10 attrition, so it clears a ship in Palpatine,
Yep.
and he loses Padme. I think you lose Palpatine and Zuckuss and leave Boba there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can get either back with Haven, so it doesn't really matter. He's got to lose 2 things, so.
Lodge Porg has joined the chat. Thanks for coming. There's been incredible action. We saw a photo of you being attacked by a Porg. Yeah, he lost Palpatine and then
And Fett.
Fett. Yep. Which Jabba Haven, do it now, take it back into hand, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, use Baragwin to retrieve the wedge and ship.
Mm-hmm. Hayes is saving 4.
Well, the bottom one is a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Baragwin
Baragwin.
to retrieve.
I think it was Anakin Staber he retrieved.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sideways looking shiny thing. I can see you thought it was Wedge.
Oh, it looked like wedge.
So Wirfs has 4 cards in hand, 1 down in his force pile, and I think 6.
Oh, it might be the AI Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah, which he
I see.
just lost in Clash. And then Camino finally hits the lost pile. We see the menace phase that was drawn for attrition, so I think that puts Wirfs
Well,
down to
that's-
like 5.
Yeah, he doesn't have much.
Yeah. That might have been Mesa's lightsaber that was lost because he just lost Anakin's lightsaber from hand. Didn't
Yeah.
Mesa's lightsaber have an AI come out recently?
Maybe.
Large Porg is doing his best to convince Joker King to come to his first major. I was saying about the donations program and majors next year. We have a couple events already planned. There's going to be an event in Atlanta that I know Robbie is going to be at, and I'm going to do everything I can to be at. And then we
And our
have
newest advocate will be there.
our newest advocate will be hosting it because it's in Atlanta. The newest advocate being Mike Tessling. So congrats to Mike. We will also have a big event for the lunar eclipse that'll be in April in Indianapolis. And if that's something like an event you're thinking about, go onto the forums, look at the website, and book your hotel now because the prices are very reasonable for the weekend, and it's only going to get better, or it's only going to get higher as we get closer to the eclipse, and prices are going to keep coming up. So if it's something, put your reservation in now because there's no guarantee they're going to be able to get more rooms. So Hayes.
Hayes has 16 in Life Force total.
Yeah.
He was gonna pay 5 for something and then took it back.
And he hasn't done the Jabba's Haven retrieval yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he hasn't. You're right.
I mean,
no, I think he did.
We have
He
no way
did
of
on
knowing.
He
On
did it
Wirfs'
on.
turn?
Yeah, no, he did it a couple turns ago to get Dr. E back. So his Java Havens is once per game is used. He used it to get Dr. E back a couple turns ago to do the beatdown.
Oh, I thought he was running 2 Dr. E's. Okay.
Oh, maybe he is. He used it. I know he went and dug a card out of there already. So he does not have that for. And so he's probably trying to figure out how to not get
kicked
beat
out of
down in
space.
space. Well, he's
Yeah.
gonna get kicked out of space. I think Wirfs made a conscious decision early in the game to not deploy his system and just try to kick Hayes out of space this way. Yeah, I think he still has a Gick, but I haven't seen him use the Gick. He used Stunning Leader, not Gick, so yeah.
Yeah, he's Stunning Leader. So there comes the 5, 6.
I think it was 5. Yeah, Erica.
Yep, Erica and Kylo coming down in front of Luke. He knows the destinies by now are pretty good. Fairly good odds that even with the cancel and redraw from Old Man Luke, he's going to be able to clear him.
Not with Kylo being barriered, though.
Oh, I missed the barrier.
Yeah, it's sitting on top of something special on the left.
I see it now.
And I think Wirfs has like 8 or 9 in total in Life Force. 3, 4.
2, 3.
So he's got 8 total.
5, 6,
plus the 1 in hand.
7. Yep, he saves 1, activates 7. He'll drain for 1 at no Hutta.
Can't tell how many cards Hayes has in hand, but it still looks like 6.
Looks like more than that, but it's tough to tell.
So Hayes has 22 in total. And
Commanding Peak Daughter.
It's not terrible.
Joker King's wondering why he left Zuckus instead of
yeah, I'm not sure.
Pick your poison.
I mean, Fett is power 7 and draws a destiny. Zuckus is power 4 and draws a destiny. And
I mean, Fett at least has immunity.
Yeah.
And Joker Kings point out you can't reduce the
Right.
power of Slave One. Yeah. You're making good points, and probably why I probably would have chose Boba Fett and Slave One, but
Maybe Hayes does something else to get it back, but yeah, I don't
well, he
100%
has
know.
the effect, something special that he can use to get
Oh,
a ship back.
well, no, Zuckus also has a pilot and a 2 and 3 passenger slots, which is potential
Mhm.
for importance because it can soak up some forfeit and
Yeah.
whatnot. But
But he didn't choose that line. Instead, he went after
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, if he had gone to space, he could end up drawing his 6 to repeatedly break through the Outrider after a period of time. But I don't think he needs to go that line. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
So
draining for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again next turn. So worst can only take, you know, 2 turns of this.
yeah, the Beargwin retrieved Anakin's saber. Wirfs is debating whether to take the card with Ray, and
Yeah,
he does.
he took Daughter of Skywalker in his hand.
Yeah.
The problem though is he's got Qui-Gon and he doesn't really have a good spot to deploy him because he needs to use Beargwin. He needs to do, you know, get Daughter in hand to add
Yeah.
backup. He needs to
And
deploy Qui-Gon and he has
right.
no force for any of this.
I mean, since he took daughter into hand, he has 5 force. One,
Yeah,
2, 3,
but he can initiate a battle in space for free.
for free because of Anakin. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if the barrier changed the line or not because I think he just changed it ahead of time because he went with Kylo down first. Maybe it did, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if not, he's just giving up a drain of 1 and 1. And even if he pays, Wirfs has 2 turns. He's on a clock.
Right.
So
But if he battles in space, he'll knock out Zuckuss here. And then Hayes has to pay. Yes, this is game 1. No one it hasn't finished yet. Yeah, Hayes will have to gick this battle.
yeah. And he drew Mirax.
So now Hayes has to pay at least, which does utilize a lot of his force.
I mean, okay.
But this is something that Worse needed to do about a turn or two ago to really have a shot at winning this game.
Yeah, I think Hayes knows kind of through the cycling what those 5 cards are.
Oh yeah, Hayes knows what those cards are. I have no
Yeah.
clue except for the bottom card. No, he's rewinding. Oh no, I guess he drew a 4.
Yeah. Got a force push in his hand. Yes, his hand is down to 3 cards.
I will say it did seem like Worse had a game plan for this game. It just didn't work out the way he wanted it to. And
Mm-hmm.
he was always like a turn or two behind from doing what he really, really wanted to do. And he was forced early on to make other plays.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have stuck Luke in on Naboo. Um, I think I would have dropped
Here's the
Luke
force
onto
push,
Tatooine.
which
But
essentially puts Hayes' entire hand back,
yeah,
and then What one card do you want if you're Hayes?
That one he just stuck to the right. That's the one card he wants.
Yes, I mean we don't know what it is.
Oh, you wanted to know what it is? Yeah, yeah. No clue. Yeah, maybe Dooku. I mean, he's still got Dooku left as a character option. He's got probably a couple more aliens as well. Not
I don't
entirely.
think he has any more aliens, to be quite honest.
Well, I don't think we've seen Wooher fall off or whatever.
Maybe he doesn't have it in the deck.
Yeah, he
But
might not. I mean, we just didn't see him fall off the deck yet, so he
you
has the
are correct.
possibility. He has the possibility of still having some more aliens.
He does. So he paid to drain at the cantina, and he loses Qui-Gon and Mirax, and then paid to drain at the AC. We lose Mace and Meditation.
Aura. That's a good pool.
Yeah. And
So now
now with,
it should be a complete clear on Wirfs side.
because even with the redraw, he should be able to hit.
Well,
And you just,
potentially, I guess.
yeah. I mean, you
Not with that 2 in there. It was no escape, double back, get combo, and comm scan. So
he's not clearing Luke.
yeah,
I think now you just block the drain and make him battle into you.
I mean, there's no way he's clearing Luke.
No. So you don't battle here. I say you just.
Well, he's battling. It looks like. I saw him pay 1. Okay, so he's swinging at daughter.
Mm-hmm. 2.
So he whiffs
3,
on the
5.
swing to daughter. And Hayes's plan has backfired.
Well, even if he does the redraw with the Trish, a daughter's only immune less than 4, right?
Yeah. But he's just not gonna get rid of Luke.
No.
And Worst could swing at Aura to save some of the power and put her back.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably what I would do just to. Well, I'd rather have had the 7 for Battle Destiny, but yeah.
At least you know where it is for next turn. So
Yeah.
And Battle Destiny.
Yep. So Destiny of 4. Sure, make them redraw.
And my headphones died, so you're gonna have to hear echoey Carl for a bit.
Oh. Fair
Can you
enough.
still hear me?
Yeah. Well, there is a potential for a rebeat back since he knows there's a 7 on top, or the 7 will be the last card, so he can track around to that.
Yep.
But he had I don't remember what was the other card. It was Luke's hand, Anakin Saber, and something.
It wasn't the Clash, was it? I think it was a 3.
So then he can't swing and hit Kylo without doing some sort of reshuffling around that.
Yeah, and so if you're Hayes, if he thinks it was a 4, it might have been.
Leia should only be immune less than 4, I thought. And he drew a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's only immune to less than 4, so he had to lose something from attrition.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he should have made it -2. Maybe he forgot. Because I can't imagine him being that overpowered, but maybe it was. Oh yeah. Is it 14-9? Oh yeah, Luke isn't very powerful. That's right. But it was Kylo, Erica, so that's and a 4. So that should be
14.
Yeah, 14.
Or 13.
Well, Kylo's a 6, or is a 4.
Yeah.
Destiny of 4 is, or sorry, Erica's a 4. and Destiny 4. So yeah, he had to lose that or he lost the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he drew an Anakin stick for Destiny, which is ooh, if that's a they're tracking us, that would be useful to draw.
Yep.
Yeah, it was battle damage.
And he did draw that with.
And yeah, Erica was technically power +1 because Luke was on the table, so 15 to 9.
So he's battling here, which we know he has a 7.
He gets a card off of sand.
He gets the second card because he drew the other one last time.
Yeah.
There's a 1.
But I think Hayes can pay to drain for.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's not gonna. He's got enough to pay to drain for. I don't think he can't drain them out.
no, not with the card he took off the same.
But I think Hayes still has.
So he lost Hera from hand in the 7.
Yeah, and then got the 7 back with Baragwin.
Baragwin, yep. And then lost the tracking us, the saber.
Yeah, so.
And then he loses the 7 again.
So Hayes should win this by, let's see, drain a 1 for. By 10?
Yeah, because he's gonna take 4.
So. Yeah. So it looks like Hayes will win this by 10, which is not usually insurmountable, but if the other matchup is that bad, it's probably not the greatest.
Well, yeah, there's 10. All right.
So.
Yeah, 10 even.
Let's go ahead and go here.
So Chad is thinking Wirfs should have drawn up. Yeah, he lost 3 extra when he didn't need to. From a lost pile perspective, which, given that you are playing a deck in CCT that can retrieve lost piles, could matter, potentially. I think if you're Wirfs, though, you've got to feel good knowing that the difference isn't insurmountable, right? Yes, you were in a less favorable matchup in the next game, but you still got a chance.
Yeah, I mean he's got his work cut out for him for sure, but he's got a chance.
Mhm.
And considering how that game went, I mean I think he just struggled to get the right key pieces, and Hayes didn't look like he was struggling to get the key pieces early on, and Wirfs had to really adjust his game plan, and he's still only lost by 10. That's not terrible at all.
Be right back, Robbie.
Yeah. Either you go all in at the AC or the carbonite chamber. You pick one, and you kind of I would imagine you just kind of let Wirfs decide where he wants to go first, and then you pick the other one. Because Hayes can easily. Well, I don't know if Hayes is playing. I must be allowed to speak or not.
He is playing.
Yeah.
I must be allowed to speak.
Okay, then yeah, he's going to AC. Never mind. I wasn't sure which one he was playing. I didn't watch him play earlier today.
Yeah, so he's playing the antechamber, so he's got a place to run. If he does run into the 8C and he gets into a less favorable matchup, Looks like the players are taking a little bit of a break. So
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick little break to ourselves and um, catch up with you guys in a few minutes. All right, looks like Hayes is back. Wirfs is on his way, and they will be getting set up here shortly for game 2. And
According to our tournament advocate, Chris Schoenthal, Wirfs is pouring water and then we go.
our Hall of Fame tournament advocate, by the way.
I just assumed Show had more like the superlatives and adjectives after his name that, I just went with the most common one. So the matchup is CCT versus Obi Commuting, and earlier at the end of Sam Tsushima and Wirfs game in the round of 8, the stream was still going and we could hear some of the commentary from Hayes and Wirfs, and Hayes paid a great compliment that says when Team 5 is doing their testing, they have a CCT normal and then CCT works. So we definitely know that this is going to be a matchup. Wirfs is kind of perfected because he's played a lot of games in CCT. So Tom Struthers has joined us in the chat and has said, from the line as the OB community player, it's possible to damage race and win Nalhutta with Padme, just by loading up with Anakin and others, and then you have the handed clash. Like Hayes is gonna have a lot of options, but
Hayes has 3 ships too.
Yeah, we know
he
has
got
we know he has HCF and
Profundity, yeah. And we know from that other stream you were talking about with Wirfs has a bunch of ships too. So I would suspect we will see some battling over Nalhutta at various points.
Which will be the only system in play.
Right.
Because Hayes does not play Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be an interesting matchup. Like it's like you said, it's not your standard CCT, which then will change what Hayes has to combat.
Wirfs, you might have, or Tom may have taken away one of the trivia questions I was thinking about, so I'm gonna have to play another because Wirfs plays a few like not commonly seen aliens. So we'll, see what comes out. But I think if you're Wirfs, you play your game and force Hayes on a few decisions, and if you're Hayes, you take the 10 force you've got in your back pocket and wait for an open.
Yeah. I think this is, I mean, worse, like both of them are going to kind of try to react, and it'll be who gets to react best and who can find those key cards. And they both have the ability to find those cards. Hayes can, I must be allowed to speak, use pools to find key cards, and Wirfs will get IG88 pools, hopefully, unless every time I play this deck, I whiff on that setup, so that's why I don't play this deck. So it'll be interesting to see. There shouldn't be any struggle to find cards this game.
Yeah, in the first matchup of the stream today, we saw this with Hayes on Obi-Wan versus Ryan Saracen's CCT, and Ryan missed his IG. It took him a while to find IG88, and by then, Hayes was able to go into the AC with Leia Rebel Princess, which is going to be a huge card in this game.
Yeah.
Along with Lando and Master Luke, and he basically made it to where Ryan had to abandon the AC, so he drained for 3 and got rid of Scum and Villainy, and then one of the big advantages of the deployment reduction went away, and after that, Ryan was just on his back foot. So he played it very well, but Hasten won the
match by 30. Yeah, and that's the problem with the CCT deck is if you whiff that IG pull turn 2, sometimes you just end up too far behind to then get it going. And then you're forced into your substandard plan Bs and Cs and stuff versus your ideal way to go.
Yeah, so Robbie, we're watching the finals, and obviously, if you were there, we assume we'd be watching you playing. So,
No.
what deck would you have played if you were there?
No, there's no way I'd be playing in the finals. I would have scooped to Wirfs in the first round. I'm really happy Wirfs is here. I'd rather see him win than me. So no, there's no way I'd be in the finals.
No, I was saying that as a really, really bad way to tee up and ask you.
Yeah, you want me to tell you that I'd play WAP, but I wouldn't even played WAP this weekend. I would have played no idea.
Okay.
So,
And then Dark Side, which seems to be pretty wide open.
man, that one I have no idea what I would actually play, and it's so wide open. Like, I know when Chris Kelly was trying to prepare, me and him were bouncing stuff between us, and that there wasn't a lot I could do to help him. It's like, I don't know, TTO, space deck, something that
Hayes, open hands, Lando, a Saber. Were you
3PO
looking
puller.
for me, 3PO puller, and it looks like 2 Landos? Yep.
And Padme and a
yeah.
lightsaber. Looks like Anakin's saber.
And I think his Unita is the other card I think I saw in his hand, which.
Well, he didn't get any of his ships, and he's probably going to shuffle those apart. Even though technically what he's doing doesn't really matter, because if you randomly shuffle sufficiently, it doesn't matter if you preset before you actually start shuffling. But all of our brains work the other way, so.
Joker King with the pun, no idea for both sides. It sounds.
And Dark Side is just, I mean, there's like each Dark Side deck has just some bad matchups, and so I was telling Chris Kelly, it was like sometimes you just kind of have to pick something and hope to dodge the bad matchups. Like, I could see playing Walkers or ISB or TTO or some sort of Dark Side mains, but they all have their weaknesses, and so.
Well, seeing how Hayes is coming to Ohio Mega World, I think I would expect to see Obi muting next week.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I told Chris. Just play a Dark Side deck that you're gonna have fun with, because that's about the best option you can hope for. So.
Yeah, and Derek says Walker's no good with all of the QMC. And again, Tom, you're not wrong. They're all weak to Obi. Yeah, Obi's a really good deck. And earlier, I think one of the comments was no one respecting Obi with taking 2 CCTs and an AOBS into a top 8. The start of this game, we see a normal CCT start with Boba and his blaster going down to security tower.
And I kind of wonder if he's gonna go get the AC. Yeah, he didn't go get the AC, so he's not even gonna give. He's not even gonna give the option to Hayes to go get it, but he is gonna pick up the character as he should. I was wondering if he was gonna leave him there or not, but.
And Despair hit the table, which you would expect.
Yeah, because he starts it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joker King. We were looking at that. His hand has some good. It's Yoda, 2 Landos, Padme, a Saber. I expect
Nabarin, 3PO, and Unita. So it's
yeah,
not.
It's gonna be go find Mos Eisley, see if the farm is there, play 3PO to the hut, draw a couple. I guess.
Yeah, that would be my. I would think that would be what he would do. I think if Wirfs had gone AC, maybe he drops Yoda or something there, but he probably should still wait and just set up his hand. He's up 10 right now, essentially, so. And he's looking and counting literally everything to figure out his force pile. Well, there should be a Master Luke in there. I think I only counted 1 or 2. So it looks like his force pile actually has some good cards.
I'm curious how the consolation finished. Not to kind of deviate from the final, but going in, we had 5 players at 4-1 going into the last game with Cal, Kyle, Chris Kelly, Lee, and Mike. We're all 4-1, so I'm curious how that played out. Maybe we'll get an update. All right, so we see the farm in the antechamber, which will give Wirfs with the AC. Do you always have to play that to the right so the antechamber will?
There is a layout, but I don't ever remember what it is.
I'm pretty sure it's always Cantina on one end and the Palace on the other. So the antechamber will break the dungeon in terms of placement. Ace doesn't even. Oh, he's doing his community.
Yeah, it's just Jabba's Palace interior, so you can stack them whichever way you want.
So he's paying the 2 for 3PO. And he's debating where to place these now.
Yeah, trying to figure out if he's gonna need forfeit in certain places or something.
Well, it did come up,
There's some-
and Taco was very happy to see that were you looking for me, the loss function on adding a battle destiny did come up in game 1. So
Yeah. And it's nice to be able to plan that from the get-go instead of having to spin the force to move him around. So it looks like he got, I can't believe he's gone. He got Luke and a
yeah,
sight.
that was, and he drew Moss Isley, so he's probably putting that back with 3PO to get a relevant card to support.
Right.
Did Wirfs activate with the console, or he can't yet because right? I think you just activated turn.
I think you can. It's just
Once
once
per
during.
turn, may use the force, or once during opponent's turn if you have a copy. So he just unactivated force.
Maybe not.
Okay. All right. Here comes the audience chamber, which you'll place down next to Yoda's or Obi-Wan's hut, which will set it up so that way battleground, non-battleground, battleground, non-battleground.
Oddly synergistic.
I mean, we love with light and dark side for there to be synergy, except when there isn't. Looks like Wirfs is using the.
Well, he was about to. I think he
I
was
think
just
I saw
making.
Jabba in his hand.
Yeah, he's probably just making sure he didn't have scum randomly in his hand
To
to get a little bit of a cheaper deploy.
So he paid 2, so I imagine this is for Duro.
Yeah, there's the IG. There's the Duro. Well, Hayes will only be activating 11, I think, on his second turn instead of 15. So.
Which, I mean, I don't know how you play modern Star Wars CCG with only activating 11.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. So Phil is having him rewind something for a second. All right.
The move free.
Yep. There's the interrupt.
So he already had that, so he can still use the carbonite chamber later to pull it if he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
and somehow they just teleport all the way across the galaxy.
Because that's how we design cards.
Yeah. Transfer IG to, or transfer the prisoner to IG.
Tunnels for a card.
And leaves one back, and we'll see
Yeah.
if he actually activates one with the chamber or
Yeah.
not.
I mean, if you're Hayes, you drew just about everything you would hope to last turn. But I can't believe he's gone being the big one.
Yeah. Oh, the console can pull it every turn. It's not once per game. Fair enough. It feels like it's once per game because you only usually use it once per game.
Hayes goes to deploy. I mean,
There's
he
Moss
knew that Moss Eisley was there, but he's seeing what else is there to see what
Yep.
weapons. He has Anakin Saber in his hand. So.
And Luke Saber is in the deck, so he
There
can
it is,
pull
yeah.
that if he needs it.
Oh, he is doing something.
Yeah, so let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's got. Oh wait, he didn't activate that.
He is a shuffling.
He has 11.
Yeah, which is interesting because like he went to go find out that Luke Saber was there. So, I mean, if you're Hayes, do you blitz the AC right away?
I mean, he's got Luke and Padme to go in there and potentially
I mean,
cause some damage.
If he drops Luke by himself, Wirfs isn't getting a Destiny because he has no one that Luke by himself would reset and he's Unita gets back.
The commuting interrupts.
Yep. So there's 5. Yeah. And Joaquin points out Unita is big, so there's Master Luke. He's gonna get his useful. I mean, Luke is gonna be power 10 by himself if you pay 1.
Yeah.
And his used is relatively unprotected.
Sorry about the best bionic hand, Hugix, and one card in the middle I can't see. I think you get Bionic's hand. Oh no, he's getting the card I can't see. Oh, Sand.
Okay.
That's a pretty good use.
I thought it was an effect, so yeah. If anyone in the chat can tell me, have my nose hairs like really like flared up when I've had to zoom in to try and look at the cards on the table? If so, I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
So I think he took Sand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Sand. It wasn't the hand.
Yeah, since he threw that back on table when he was shuffling.
So now he's gonna go get Luke Saber.
And Wirfs still hasn't activated one from the console.
Did he save one last turn?
He did save one.
Yeah.
But he has not activated one. And if he didn't activate one last turn, he's cut his activation by 2 this game, which is relevant so far.
And as somebody who recently went through a boot camp on a certain deck that is not in this matchup, I know how important it is to activate that 1 force on a turn.
Can be. I mean, it's even more when you get the ability to look through your force pile every turn.
Yeah.
Like it's an extra. I mean, he should have looked at an extra card already from last turn, and he didn't have it. So
for anyone wondering why I'm speaking code, Robbie was nice enough to kind of give me some insight on one of his favorite decks, WAP. And if you're a new player or someone who's trying to get better, reach out to people who play decks and know them inside and out. I don't know anybody who isn't willing to talk through lineups and matchups. So he plays Sand and stacks Leia Rebel Princess, and were you looking for me?
I swear he transferred them because I think he picked up both of the cards in his force pile and took one, but it certainly looks like he hasn't transferred him.
And now Padme has joined, which Wirfs will now get a Destiny because Luke's no longer alone.
Yeah, this could end up clearing. I mean, this could be pretty bad. So that's why I'm like, I'm wondering why I'm guessing Wirfs just forgot about the console, which is so weird because, he's played CCT a lot, so it gives you a chance to, find another card, possibly a stunning leader or a barrier to beforehand.
Well, if the captive is still with Boba, he could still do the replacement and pull the Boba cancel card. Like,
Yeah. And he could have transferred him to IG and back, I guess. Yeah, okay. Joe clarified for us in chat. That makes sense.
world champion Joe Olsen proving us right.
Still confused why he's not activating for the console though, but
He probably didn't want to activate that one card.
yeah, maybe. Well, he could have activated it. He still could have activated it last turn. This turn it would make sense. But he could also still. Oh, I guess he can't IG for it since he transferred him back. Never mind. But now, hopefully, now he'll go ahead and activate the one. And maybe we're just wrong. Maybe he did activate one in the first turn and we just missed it. Certainly could have been.
Wirfs insisted a lack of sleep wouldn't affect his play.
I was gonna say he's in the finals and he made top 8. Let's not act like Wirfs didn't go and get a bunch of sleep Friday night. Yeah, like he was up doing other things Friday night, I'm sure. So he's now on day 2 of no sleep.
Wirfs knows his own body. You know what? He's playing very well. He's in the finals.
Yeah.
I think Joe agrees. Apparently, the hotel has really good coffee. He's probably just wired on coffee at this point.
Okay, he did activate for the console, so
yeah. There's one. Yep.
So he probably, like you said, just didn't want to activate it when he needed to pull it, and then he activated it now. And
So
I mean,
now
Hayes,
Go
this is
ahead.
a great setup for Hayes. I mean,
yeah,
there's not a lot that Wirfs can. He's not getting a tunnel vision pool yet, so, and he's used the AC pool, so we'll see what he has in his hand to,
So now
do.
he's going to go pull Scum and Villainy, which, oh, he didn't activate. There it is.
Yeah.
And I think I saw Mighty Jabba in his hand earlier. I can't be certain.
Yeah, I don't 100%
The Master
know.
Luke will make each of his aliens deploy +1.
But -2 because of Scum, or -1 because of Scum. So.
Yeah, so it's effectively just, drifting full price.
Yeah. But hey, it's at least only to same site now, not same and related.
Yep. And, Hayes being the gentleman that he is, always ready with Scomplink, the app on Android to pull up any of the cards, which will then link to any of the advanced rulings that have been there. So.
Well, it makes sense if Hayes has got an old flip, and I know Hayes loves his arts and crafts, so. There's Jabba.
I find arts and crafts be therapeutic. I just put on something that, I don't care about, and I cut up my cards. I'm not, a fanatic like Brian Saracen in the all white border, but
Now it would be interesting if Wirfs was playing something like Disarmed, where he could disarm, Luke during,
and we see Kondo come down.
he hasn't gone and got now HUD out yet. Oh, I guess he can't. He doesn't have a Jabba's
Haven. He doesn't have Jabba's Haven out yet.
Yeah.
Which the other cards in his hand are the ship, Probot,
random alien that he just deployed, on top of other random alien that's an AI one that I can't figure out what it is.
Hayes had to read it, so it's not one that I recognize from the Is that the Tanaka sisters? No.
No, I mean the one
it's
that
only like a 3-letter word, or Yeah.
It looks like it's the like Devorian one that goes over like Devorian or something.
Dargan in Gramgar.
It's like a 4-letter word on something. Berg.
Berg.
I didn't even know that was a
Man, now
card.
you're gonna make me look up aliens. Oh, it is Berg. He's power 6. May use 1 force to make Berg power +2 during battle. Opponent may use 1 force to make Berg -2 at the end of your turn. May use 1 force to replace Berg in the spot.
So we can get doubled with Java. That would be
Yeah.
pretty good.
Mike, are you, Sam, and all the others watching the stream in some room? If so, please leave me a Yelp rating at the end of the stream.
Yelp commentator ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean this is definitely the line to kind of do a beat down here and lock up the AC potentially.
and Yoshi with the Prime subscription for 55
55
months.
months.
Another one of the incentive programs that if you're watching this, make sure you are using your free Amazon Prime subscription to make sure that you are supporting the PC. And I have been deducted a half star for lack of bird knowledge. Mike, there's so many cards. Occasionally there's 1 or 2 that come by that I've never actually seen in a game. So I have a question in the chat. What is the underlying card for bird?
I said that.
Oh, did somebody say it?
I thought I did.
Oh.
Am I not right? Maybe I wasn't right, but
I didn't hear you say it.
oh, it's Labria.
Yeah, Joker King got it.
I thought it was a Devorian.
Yeah.
Which it is of some sort.
And Yoshi, you have been bested by Joe, who has subscribed for 60 months.
That's almost 5 years.
Yeah. I became a Berg expert watching the semifinals when I had no idea what card. Joker King, you do have inside knowledge. Wait, Greg, I don't think I said anything inappropriate. We have a battle. We should take
Yeah.
Luke's wings at Hondo.
Oh, is that AI Hondo? Okay.
Yeah. So he can use Java to
Double the
double the
power.
and he's already power 8
Yeah.
for 2 force. Power 16 is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hayes is gonna be forfeiting some guys here.
Yeah.
This is where I really wish we were allowed note and paper on the table so they could just write the power and down for us so we don't have to try to calculate it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the power is other than the one dude that's like power 16 now plus 4 from Hondo is 20.
Yeah, so somebody's saying it's in the neighborhood of like 35 to 14 right now.
Jeez. So Hayes is gonna go pull Hujix. Hopefully he didn't have it. Yep, there it is.
There it is. Yep. We knew it was at the bottom of the deck because that was in the use.
Yeah, he had it. He had it in the use pile search, so he knew where it was.
Yeah.
But he is going to be losing both of the characters, and we'll see what he draws for Destiny.
Yeah, and so if you're worse, you're gonna lose Duro. You're gonna lose Hondo.
And Blarg.
Bird.
Well, Bird, Blarg, Bird, same thing.
But that's only 6, and depending upon what the destinies are for the attrition, to go from there. Which I mean, I imagine Hayes is probably just gonna go wide and start shuffling.
Yeah. Well, and like Joker King sees, he's probably gonna lose 3 cards. He could lose Fett, although I guess that makes the captive go, so he can't really lose Fett.
Oh yeah, because the captive is still with Boba, but the gun went to IG.
Right. So he might have to lose. And then Hayes has, I mean, he just took Leia into hand
Mhm.
and out the 7 for attrition hurts. So
So that's 10. So, and Joker King does point out that he can forfeit Boba, and then the captive can move. It would be frozen. So.
yeah, and he'll use I Can't Believe He's Gone to get Luke back, and then he's got Leia in hand, Anakin Saber, Lando, and Yoda. I mean, Hayes can reattack back pretty well. And
Yeah, and he can use Master Luke once per game to get Luke Saber back.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Hayes is still looking pretty good unless Wirfs has like Stunning Leader or something to play now. But
Wirfs loses to Rowe.
yeah, transfers
Yeah.
the captive.
And it looks like it's just going to be Jabba, Berg, and IG. So
But
at the end of each of your turns, use one force to replace Berg in the use pile. So I imagine your worst use the one force.
no, he just put Berg in his use pile. He didn't have
Oh,
any
there it went.
force.
Okay. Sorry, the stream was ahead of my thought process on this. Justin Desai pointed out he has one for, oh, he put it in the chat. One for the computer, one for the phone.
So Wirfs is gonna need something with a Stunning Leader or something here.
I thought you can play Stunning Leader with,
Oh, that's right, you can't.
yeah,
With
so
the Merle or whatever.
Mithril.
It's Mithril. I don't play those cards.
Once per game, pop the effect would be more interesting. Worse hopefully has a barrier to keep Leia Rebel Princess from being able to battle into this. But yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be able to drop Leia and Lando here. Get and put Anakin Saber on Leia, grab Luke Saber back, have lots of swings and Destiny adding.
Go find her gun to kill Jabba. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah, yeah, he could find her gun too instead with Saitor.
Well, if you shoot Jabba lost, then the battle ends, right?
No, I think IG has the
Presence icon.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Joker King. I've been streaming for a while today. So. Here comes Hera.
Okay, so not dropping Lando.
Drops Leia Rebel Princess. So
Oh, maybe he dropped Hera first to get the extra use pile search.
Yep.
With extra cards, so.
I mean, he's gonna get 2 destinies right now.
That's what. Yeah, I'm not sure what Wirfs is gonna do now. I mean, he'd made the play he had to make. So. And Hayes just had the answers. So. Yep, there's the Saber. We'll see if he gets. Oh, he already had Leia's gun. So. Or I guess he might have gotten it from the use pile.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got 5 force left.
Looks like 6, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dropping land that doesn't seem worth it. Now he picks up Leia's gun, puts it back in his hand.
Well, he's got Leia's gun and Anakin saber, so he's probably deciding which one he wants to do. Because he definitely really wants to get rid of IG.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that's true. You'd lose to projective telepathy if you go too deep.
mhm. Commuting peak, puts it at the bottom. Leia's gun is,
Yeah.
yeah. Joe points out in the chat, reacting Greedo could be here, and you want to make sure you have enough force left to save. Absolutely correct.
Darkseid has 1 force.
No, Joe, I'm curious why he took it back. So, yeah. So Greedo would cost 2. Yeah, that's not happening. So here's the swing at Jabba. 4 to 3 hits. Makes him forfeit 0. And
Oh, shot back at Hera. Good shot.
get wrecked, Hera.
Yeah.
That's IG. All right. We have 1 to add 5 to his power. He draws a 5
It looked like a 5 and a 4.
and a 4. So his power is 16 or 17 plus the 9, so 24, and he drew.
Yeah, so Wirfs is losing both of his guys.
Yep, and he drew wipe, which is 5, so Hera covered. Because even with the 4 from despair, that made it 3 IG7. IG's a 4, I think. Yeah, so that was 11, so 16 to 29 or 24. So there goes Java.
Yeah, Jabba. Should be Jabba and IG. They don't.
Yeah. Interesting, he's putting the gun on top.
Yeah, it should flip. I believe that flips CCT back too.
Yep.
No, maybe
The
not.
Mithril gets placed out of play.
It looked like it was actually still Jabba's prize, for what it's
Oh,
worth.
I guess it is Java's time. So he pays the 4 to cancel Scum and Villainy, and I think we see simple tricks. Yep. And now if you're worse,
You. I mean, he has very few cards in hand.
yeah,
Like,
you're gonna eat a drain at 3 next turn, and I think you're gonna have to and figure out your next game plan because
yeah, I mean, you're just.
he's just drawing. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna find Java's Haven or draw into Nalhutta to try and get space presence going, and then go wide to Moss Isley, and he just drew Java's Haven. That was the last card. So I think, is this the final? Yes, it is. And Hayes is up 10. He won game 1. And he's in a pretty commanding position right now.
CCT can't go out of play because of despair, and apparently it also does not actually flip either. It just gets placed out of play instead, so it will stay on that side for the rest of the game. Yeah, it's you just kind of make the assumption that there's a flip back.
And the big thing here is that IG88, Wirfs plays projective to attempt to cancel the drain at the AC. Hayes probably pays the 2 force.
Yeah, I mean if you've paid 3
Like
with another
grab
2.
Pays 1 to grab and then pays the 2.
Yeah, I mean he's draining for 3. You'll pay 5 to drain for 3.
Yeah. Especially in this commanding position. So he lost Zoyer's Bounty Hunter from hand, top decks, I think stand, cold feet. Yeah. I think, or coarse and irritating, the dark side version, I think is the card underneath cold feet. I mean, if you're Hayes now, you kind of, I don't think you deploy the Cantina until you need to.
No, he's just gonna stack the AC now.
Yeah. How many droids besides IG does CCT play? Duro, I know that we saw that in his hands. My guess is he's got a P59.
Probot, maybe.
I'm sorry, I meant Probot when I said Duro. Yeah, because we saw that in his hand, thank you. And Anakin and his saber coming down to join. So this can be a drain of 4, so. Yeah.
What does Wirfs do? Wirfs tries to get the 3 battlegrounds and satisfy resistance.
Yeah, I mean, he drew into Nelhada, so I mean to Jabba's Haven, so we know he can get Nelhada.
Assuming he doesn't activate it, yeah.
And Gonna Gleamore to the dungeon is probably one of his next lines. Yep. And then hope that Hayes doesn't have Jin to come down and make Gonna Gleamore, wish he was drinking gin. So we do see Wirfs play Jabba's Haven to pull Nelhada. And yeah, Joker King points out Leia Rebel Princess is going to cancel. I think you're going to have to burn through those at some point, just trying to damage through. You can go to your carbonite chamber, but that's a drain of 1.
There's Ghana to stop the drain next door.
Yep.
But I mean that you're not getting ahead with this, so it's just hopefully buying you some time to find another plan. And Hayes really has gone all in on that site, so he might be
okay.
he
Or
might be
comes down to back up Ghana, so Jin won't come down and just wreck this game. Let's bring back deck tech. If we had a better producer, you would have seen more. That was my bad.
No, I think he was talking about the site, not the videos.
There's a site called Deck Tech.
Yeah, that was way before your time.
I'm 40 and yes,
No,
right.
I mean your Star Wars time.
I know. I was making a joke about how I'm still a baby with Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it was probably it probably ended 2010-ish.
Wirfs saves 3, I think, and Hayes is in his activate. He's activating
A bajillion.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think. I know there's an archive, but I need to read all the cards that are currently relevant for circling back and finding out about cards that don't exist at the moment. Well, we know he has Slave 1 in his hand from the opening, So
I think he was talking about Hayes needs to find his ships for when Darkseid goes there with his ships, and he doesn't have a ton of pilots. I mean, I think he still has Lando in his hand, so that's at least one pilot that he can go up to space with.
he'll have Ray, who hasn't hit the table yet.
Right. Hera's gone, so if he can get Hera back some way.
And obviously HCF could still be floating around.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Tantive, Profundity, and Honshu in the Falcon combo. So he's got three options to find.
And let's not forget, probably the most important card in his deck for this matchup, Lieutenant Blount. Just kidding. We were joking about how he has been playing Blount, which is great ISB tech.
Yeah.
So it's another pilot that can go into one of the ships.
Yeah, but that one doesn't do as much as Ray or Lando would, so, or even Hera for that matter.
He has two.
You know who can also add two? I can add two. Ooh, is he gonna Nabrin over to there?
He is.
Yep, and Wirfs scoops it up because he doesn't have any way to stop it. So.
All right. Well, your Endor 2023 champion, Hayes Hunter, who also had a Jin in his hand, which is what I was like thinking.
Yeah. And yep, so Hayes is king of Star Wars world once again.
Yep. That makes nationals, worlds, and
Endor.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to stop him in Ohio next week. And
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to break out another bottle for to celebrate. We're gonna try and get Hayes on for an interview if you guys want to hang around. We want to congratulate all of our top 8. We saw some really great Star Wars parts today. Congratulations to Sam Tashima, Anthony Howard, Steve Breston. I'm trying to go through all of them in my head here. Sam Tashima, Mike Kessling, Ryan Saracen, our runner-up Chris Wirfs, and Hayes Hunter for a great day 2. Just a great tournament. We want to thank Chris Schoenthal and our volunteers, everyone who took time to make this a great event. And we're just going to wait 1 minute, and Hayes is going to take a nap.
That's not allowed. That's also not in the tournament guidelines. You can't take
when
naps.
you want as much as Hayes, so I'm gonna get my headphones on and hopefully they're charged. That way they'll sound a little bit better. So I'll be back in just 1 second.
All right. Well, that's not actually set up yet, so we'll wait on that.
I think Hayes, right as you cut away, he was probably texting his mom, "Hey mom, I want another tournament."
No, he was closing the Luke off of his phone.
Yep.
So we're trying to find Hayes a headset to put on and get him positioned in front of the camera for the interview.
Yeah.
So we can do a winner's interview. So give us a second while we get that taken care of and get Hayes on here. Halfway tempted just to text Hayes. Oh, maybe he's getting a headset.
Yep, it sounds like someone was trying to hand it to him from the Slack chat.
Fortunately, I'm not sure where the interview camera is positioned. I'm guessing it's by that camera.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like just to the left of that camera, so. Hayes can get a beer after he gets a headset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're
Are
taking
we still
pictures. Yeah, they're
okay?
taking
Are we?
pictures. We're still live.
Are,
I thought they were getting him a headset, but they're taking pictures first.
are we still live on the chat or on
Yeah,
stream? Or we're
yeah.
not muted? Okay.
No, we're still talking.
Okay.
I was trying not. I didn't know they were going to take pictures and do a bunch of stuff beforehand. So we'll see if we get. We may not get an interview, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll stay on just for a couple more minutes to see if we do. If not, this will all get cropped out. Wirfs is getting some much needed and well-deserved congratulations from people.
Show's trying to find him one now, I think.
Yep.
Someone's controlling the thing. Should be this one. It looks like we found him a headset. Now they're, I think, trying to. Not sure what they're trying to do. So give us a second. Still working through the technical aspects of this.
Well, I imagine a lot of people are excited that the finals are over. Hayes is continuing to just show that he's on top of his game. And as Hayes would say, the hard part's over. Now the fun begins. I'm going to be very curious to see if that's what he says once we get him on.
Yeah, I think they have the wrong headset.
Hey, Robbie, can you hear me?
Feels appropriate.
Something's working.
Robbie, this is Brandon. Can you hear me?
I wonder if it's because he's muted in Zoom.
No, it's not going through Zoom. It's just capture through
Oh.
Streamlabs.
Oh, okay.
But I wonder if they got the wrong headset that hasn't changed. Oh.
I hear Brandon on the stream. Okay.
Yeah, just give us
We
a
don't
minute.
hear
Hayes
Brandon.
is taking a break, and then he'll be on the mic here to talk about things in a little bit, okay?
It'll be tough to have an interview without that.
Yeah.
Takes us,
pee. Do they want me to pee first, or
Uh,
hold it?
you can.
gonna pee first.
He's gonna go pee.
I've made an executive decision.
We'll be back, and I'll put Hayes on the mic in a moment.
I think it's something else.
If you have a chance to go check out Slack, there is an amazing photo of Hayes and Wirfs right after the match ended that just shows what this community is about.
Brandon, can you hear us if you're still there?
I can hear you.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can
Yep,
hear me
now
now.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Hayes is going to the bathroom right now, and then I'll put him on the stream and I'll put him on the microphone in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
In case anyone wants to know, Consolation, Cal Aldred and Mike Turner finished 5-1. So it looks like they split the Consolation tournament. So congrats to them as well.
I'm gonna hand over the headset to Hayes here.
This isn't mine. I don't think this is mine. How do you know? Because you only had one?
And I'm gonna put the camera on him in a moment here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the camera's not facing him.
Yeah, I'll have it face him when he's just sitting down in the chair.
Okay.
Well, then fine.
Hayes. He's on, Robbie and them. I want to talk to you.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Hayes.
Congratulations.
Congrats, buddy. Well
Thanks.
played.
Yes.
As you try to find a seat.
I needed to find my goldfish.
Oh, fair enough.
I was gonna ask, were the goldfish what powered you to victory?
No, I actually ate 0 of them. I was really hungry, and I walked to a convenience store after a guy gave us really bad directions. And I grabbed the goldfish as the first thing, and those were not sufficient, so I had a kind bar and a naked juice.
Okay.
Potassium.
Nice. Well, lunch of champions, I guess. So for any future champions out there that want to win events, that's what you got to do. Sacrifice eating, apparently.
Actually, they were poison goldfish. That's why I made Wirfs eat them.
Or do that, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
How are you doing? This is weird because the camera's over there, but I see Robbie and Carl right there. This is bizarro.
Yeah, it's
normally
kind
I'm
of.
supposed to look at the webcam camera. Uh-oh, the camera's moving.
Hopefully we're not making everybody sick. There we go.
It's
Who
fine.
cares? What's up, guys? How was your weekend? What did you do?
We watched you win.
Yeah.
Can
That's
you
what we
wait
did.
till next weekend when Ohio happens, man?
Well, Carl will be there.
Why don't you show up, Robbie?
I had a funeral last week, so I'll be out
sorry.
this week. I will be in Atlanta, though. I've already booked my ticket for that.
Sweet.
So.
And Hayes, this is yet another major, yet another victory. So that means when I see you, there'll be another, something.
All right, cool. I won't say no to that. I know.
Slowly let it get to the camera.
This is a kids channel.
That's
Yeah.
why I moved it away quickly.
Yeah, so it took you a while, it felt like, to get over that world's hump, and now all of a sudden you've got a bunch of back-to-back-to-back victories piling up. How does it feel? Uh-oh, did I drop? Oh, his headset might have died. It probably wasn't a
Yeah.
charged headset.
Yeah, the headset died. Right as we said, this is not a family-friendly thing.
Yeah.
And one moment.
Probably still have to press the power. Yep.
Now we can hear you.
No, it's dead.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah, I think
we tried.
we did.
If the second headset doesn't work, which it may not, Hayes will probably be on Hollow Theater this week for his
Yes.
winners. Okay, today he's here. Well, kinda. No, it just died again. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we'll just. Well, the mic's
Check
on.
out. Yep.
I see the light, but nothing. No. Okay. Yep. Well, Hayes will be on Hollow Theater hopefully this week,
Yeah.
and we'll give
The
it
built-in
a
mic and
chance.
speaker should work.
We'll give it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think
He'll
Hayes
be on
wants to
Hollow
go.
Theater. Yeah,
Yes.
Hayes wants food, so we'll
He
let
wants
him
to go
go.
have fun.
Yeah.
Joe and the rest of Team 5, go have fun celebrating yet another victory for Hayes Hunter, our 2023 Endor Grand Prix champion. Congratulations to everyone.